Greetings YouTube, this is Toy Customizer Wakeangel2001. This is going to be a very special video. It's my very first model kit building video. Got that He-May brain powered. Notice that powered is spelled powered because poor literacy is cool. Got the model kit. Let's just open it up. We have our instructions. I'm sure if I could read Japanese, this would have lots of lovely information. And here's all the steps. It shows how to build it. Okay. And here we have little baggies full of parts. I got parts here, parts here. Got some decals. And what I'm going to do is turn this pile of parts into a super cool robot. Alright, so I'm going to work right here, filming myself the whole time, and you get to watch the magic happen. I will be using my only tool, the X-Acto knife, which I will use to cut parts. Alright, so this is me constructing He-May brain powered model kit. Well, let's see, all told I had about 47 minutes worth of footage, and that was not counting when I had the camera turned off, when I built one arm and one leg, because I figured the arm and the leg it would just be a repeat of what you did last time. So I cut that out, but even with that gone, it was still like 47 minutes, which was just insane. So what I did was I sped it up 4 times. I doubled the speed and I doubled the speed again. So I condensed 47 minutes worth of footage to just under 14 minutes of footage. Yeah, so still 14 minutes is pretty long for one of my videos. I tried to play it at even faster speed, get it down to 7 minutes, but at that point it kind of made my computer's processors reject itself and the video started to play all skipped and messed up, so I believe quadrupling the speed is as high an increase as I'm going to be able to get and still run smoothly. So I filled in just under a minute and a half of this build. Well, the instructions, they specified a nice bottom-up construction from the feet to the head. So that's what I'm making first. That thing sitting on the table is a foot, and with a few pieces here and there, I'd have a leg. And you know what would be really good if I could play some Benny Hill music in the background. You know, like when that fast motion thing where you got like yes, and I just have that playing in a loop. Although I probably hearing that music is fine for a couple minutes, but I'm pretty sure you'd want to kill yourselves after like 15 minutes of that. Managed to kill another minute. Let's see. Am I even looking directly at the screen as I do this? No, I don't run any scripts. So, yeah, you basically see me, I go to the instructions, I go to the sheet of parts that the instructions refer me to, and I cut out the part with the X-Acto knife. I take off any little sticky outy bits after cutting it free from the frame. I cut off any remaining plastic, and then I have a nice clean part which I assemble. And like my custom robo, this is a completely snapped together kit. I did not have to use any glue. Well, there was one time I accidentally snapped the piece and I glued it back on, but no one will ever notice that because I glued it perfectly. I guess the smart thing for me to do would be to research the Hime brain-powered anime and tell you guys about the anime as I build this. But no, I am lazy as all hell. Let's see. How far am I in? 3.5 minutes. And at this point I'm almost complete with the first leg. And yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go to Wikipedia right now and I'm going to look up Hime Brain Powered just for you. Alright, I took all of 5 minutes to go on the internet and I looked up the Brain Powered anime on Wikipedia. Yeah, it turns out that the anime is called Brain Powered. I can only assume that Hime is the character name. Basically, Brain Powered is made by Sunrise. It's one of those post-apocalyptic future type deals where Earth is decimated by a mysterious alien spacecraft called Orphan by a group of researchers, which crashes into the Pacific Ocean. Basically, these researchers are trying to gather Orphan's disc plates, probably revive it, but reviving the craft would result in the destruction of all life on Earth. So they use a mecha called antibodies. That's what this mecha would be. This robot is an antibody. Yeah, this guy is an antibody. How about that? And they're using these antibodies to try and reactivate this crashed alien spaceship so that they can, I don't know, do stuff. I don't really know what they're. There's a. I'm reading the article right now. Let's see. Oh, it says that these mechas are actually living organic mechas. So you get the whole living robot thing. That kind of reminds me a little bit of Escaflowne, if anything else, or Evangelion. You know, where it looks like a robot, it walks like a robot, it acts like a robot, but it's actually alive, technically, which is kind of cool. Yeah, so what this is the main characters of the series, what are their names? Yu Isami and Hime Utsumiya. Oh, there's where Hime comes from. Hime is the character's name. So the anime is brain powered, and the character is named Hime. And it's a special antibody. That's what this is. It's a special antibody called brain powered, which is used to counter Orphan's plans and save humanity. Here's an interesting bit of trivia. It was directed and written by Gundam creator Yoshiyuki Tomino. So yeah, like, this is made by the guy that did freaking Gundam, one of the most enduring and well-respected giant robot anime series of all time, and that guy totally made this show too. That's kind of cool. Of course, the mecha designs themselves were made by Mamoru Nagano. So yeah, thank Mamoru Nagano for the design of Brain Powered. I'm not sure if the misspelling of powered is because they're Japanese people that don't know how to spell English very well, or if yeah, or if they're just trying to be cool, because this series was made in the late 90s, 1998 in fact. Yeah. It was a 26 episode long series. It's an average length for a series. It's 2 full seasons. Uh, 1998. Yeah, the tail end of the 90s. Yeah, poor literacy is cool. I'm pretty sure they spelled powered wrong because they thought that it would be cool. Uh huh. How much time have I killed so far? Okay, 8 minutes. Yeah. There's barely 5.5 minutes left of this build. Let's see, what have I completed? I've actually been drawing my attention away from the video it's playing. Let's see, I constructed a leg, an arm, I built a torso. Yes, the thing that I am constructing now are the hips. Let's see, any personal things on constructing this guy? Well, I did break one of the spikes that comes out of the shoulder armors. That just, the piece was so tight in place that when I was wiggling it in, it snapped. But, fortunately it wasn't a moving part, so just a bit of crazy glue to fix it, and it's completely unnoticeable. Let's see. This guy has ball jointed elbows, shoulders, and hips, and swivel jointed knees, and I believe ankles. And he has a ball jointed neck and a ball jointed waist. So, articulation wise, he's actually not half bad. Although assuming this model kit was made around the same time as the anime was, and this is late 90s, early 2000s figure articulation, and I gotta say, for that time, it's really good. I mean, I know like the turn of the century was around when toys were going through a big articulation renaissance, but I gotta say, by modern figure standards, at least by American modern figure standards, this thing would be pretty top tier, articulation wise. But I know a lot of people who are used to Figmas and Revoltechs, which are actually like super flexible gymnastics, and the gymnasts, and have more degrees of flexibility since freaking Stretch Armstrong would probably thumb their noses at this guy. But you know, for a kit that's, I'm not sure if this kit itself is actually close to 10 years old, or if it's a 10-year-old anime and the kit was made later. I have no idea. I can't say that it is a very eye-catching robot. I suppose if I was to say anything about the aesthetic, it kind of reminds me of a knight. I'm not sure if that's if I'm getting this purely off of my knowledge of medieval lore, or just because the word princess is on the box. You know, princess in Japanese, that is. But yeah, he very much looks like he's wearing plated armor. I kind of like the wing ears. That's what I'm putting on the head right now. Yeah, right now I'm working on his head. He has these wings coming out of his head, which kind of look like, he has kind of like a Thor helmet thing going on. He has a few stickers, very, very few stickers. Okay, and with the power of hand waving, boom, we instantly have the left arm and leg. Yes, I only filmed the construction of the right arm and leg, and then stopped the camera, built the other arm and leg, because I figured it took so long to make them. You know, I mean, like I said, I have 47 minutes of footage just from that, so if I built the other arm and leg, I probably would have added an extra 10, maybe 15 minutes to that, so it would be a solid hour. And even speeding up the frame rate, it would still be horribly long. Okay, so as you can see, At this point, I have the robot mostly done. There's just a couple of more steps, just a couple of final details to his armor. The hip armor was meant to be put on after the hips were attached. So I'm bringing his arm up so that I have room to work. You just kind of squeeze that in place. I can see why they put that there. If you put the leg on, if you put that piece of armor on, then try to push the leg on, you might easily snap it because, you know, this is model plastic. And he comes with this weird little sword. On him, it's like a tiny dagger, even though it's almost as tall as the little human that comes with it. But it really doesn't fit in his hand, like, at all. I don't know why they included that, if it's meant to be wielded in any particular way. And then he has a gun. It comes in 2 parts, and it's actually almost as long as he is. And I don't know why they included that pathetic little dagger when the gun itself kind of has a lance or sword motif going on. So, we reached the end of the construction, and I'm messing around. Alright, let's...
This is IOTV on TV.
So, yes, even with no paint job, he does have something of a varied color palette. I mean, not quite as awesome as you see in the instruction manual, but you know, you got some contrasts here and there. You got some black, and you got some beige. And he comes with just a couple of decals, like on his shins, his crotch plate, chest. He has an eye. The princess that he comes with, it actually seems to be cast in a softer kind of plastic. I don't know if I'm going to paint it or not. I'm probably going to paint that princess because it's just so plain, but it's also very tiny. Also, this little dagger sword thing he comes with, the instructions say it goes in his hand, but I don't see it. I mean, I can kind of put it around his hand like that. Is that how it's supposed to go? I have no idea. Yeah, yes. But the gun goes neatly into the hand. It's nice and tight without being oppressively tight. He has to hold it out a bit. I think it's a pretty decent looking little kit. Alright, this has been Wakeangel2001's first model build. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did.